Hola from the West Side. It is me, DCV Purple Diva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Friday, y'all. We have made it to the end of this week, even if we still don't know if there'll be a 46th president or not. I have a sneaky suspicion that there will be, but it's going to be a long, bumpy ride to that final destination. But before I get into tonight, let me just let y'all know I'm on because I know I didn't come on last night and I got to get back on this because I cannot afford to lose any more hours. So let me just do this and share it out on my community tab. Um, on through and chill with some conversation. All right, so got that out there. A lot going on today, y'all. Um, hey, Latoya. First of all, I want to send my condolences out to the family of King Von, the 26-year-old rapper out of Chicago, who tragically was shot outside of a Atlanta hookah lounge early this morning. No problem, no problem. So y'all, it's crazy. Now this particular rapper, King Von, was about that life as a kid. I mean, that's what made him really, really popular and popping because he rapped about what he knew. He wasn't talking about something that he hadn't lived. But unfortunately, the way that he lived is the way that he died. 26 years old, only a year older than my child, only a year older than my son. And I'm pretty sure this was black on black crime. I mean, I guess the hookah lounges are the new nightclubs. You know, um, I don't know what they do in a hookah lounge other than hookah. Sit around the tables and do the hookah. But I know they have some here in LA that are after hours. They have some after hour clubs here that also have hookah lounges within them, but that's not the only thing that's going on. They have dancing and other things. This is probably one of those kind of places in Atlanta. And it just also, was a hookah lounge. Y'all, it's just so sad. These babies, our babies are dying in the street. They're either dying at the hands of the police or they dying at the hands of themselves. Now, from what I understand, an argument ensued prior to the shooting, and I have also heard that King Von was apparently beating somebody down before he got shot, and there apparently is video footage of it, y'all. You see what you're saying? Asians spoke that into existence. Some people still don't believe there's a power in words. She said she didn't want to be with anyone that wasn't a killer. I remember her saying that. I remember her saying that crazy mess. And they were talking about her when she said that mess. Well, he has now been killed. I mean, sometimes the way you live is the way you die. And it seemed like he was trying to get out of that life. Obviously, he had moved to Atlanta away from where he had been living that life. But he had brought that same mentality to the ATL with him. And there were people there who were with the Shiznik. You know, there's always going to be somebody who is going to think using a gun is the best answer and the way to solve a problem. But see, they don't be thinking. They come up with permanent solutions to temporary problems. So whichever young man shot him has ruined his own life. And now because this young man, we know, was involved in gang activity at a younger age, then you're gonna have some nincompoop, stupid, dudes coming there behind from Chicago to try to avenge his death. And it's just gonna keep going round and round. Right in the middle of this. Because unfortunately, they're numb to people dying in Chicago. And this was one of their young, these little young upstairs heroes. It's crazy. 26 years old, had two Billboard charting mixtapes, had just dropped his album last week, and I believe was dropping a single today. And now, fortunately, it's going to be his greatest hit because he don't have nothing because he's not going to be here to put anything else out. He's not going to be able. And see, now this is one of the things that I think we really need to do more than just talking about. See, we're focusing so much on police brutality, with our people, and we are very concerned about the human trafficking that is going on with our people, although they don't want to talk about it when it comes to us. But we really have have got to come up with some means to stop our kids from killing each other. To stop our kids from killing each other. You know, the ironic thing is that the Bloods and the Crips, that are that started on the West Coast, came out of the Black Panther, and they originally were community organizations trying to do the same thing that the Black Panthers had done, but they were criminalized, and then they started engaging in criminal activity. But check this out, because this was brought to my attention yesterday. Hey, Matt, this was brought to my attention yesterday in a panel that I was on, which is one of the reasons why y'all didn't see me yesterday. I was on a long panel with another YouTuber, another YouTuber. Shouts out to Sean and Mel back in Baltimore, Baltimore. For those of you who don't know, um, I appreciate being up on their panel yesterday. But one of the things that was brought up was about the blood and Crips, and you notice what their colors are: blue and red. What are the colors of the two dominating parties in this country? Blue and red. And what are we really doing right now? We're fighting on color war. Election has become about color, color, color. Hey, Portal. Election has become about color. Now, after the speech that 45 gave last night, there should not be a doubt in anyone's mind, including those of you who voted for him and supported him, that this man don't care about nobody but himself. It is about him. He has no intention of conceding. He is going to fight to the very last breath. And I pray it doesn't come to this, but it may come to the point of them having to physically remove him from the premises. I mean, he's done everything so unprecedented up to this point. Why should he start being presidential at this late date? Hey, Sunday. I mean, y'all, do you guys believe this man, what he got out there and said late last night? Hey, Miss Pamela, losing his freaking mind. I was just too tired to get on here and commentate on it, y'all. I didn't want to be falling asleep on y'all. But I'm awake tonight. I'm awake tonight. And then, you know, our soon to be president elect got up there this evening and was very calm. He did not say that he has won the race. He just said that he believes that they are going to, based on what is going on currently. And he did the smart thing. He talked about the fact that he is already starting to do things that he needs to do. This man has already started having meetings, had meetings yesterday and today. Trump is a crybaby, Sunday. He is a crybaby. He is mad because no one wants to play in the sandbox with him anymore. He's mad. But I just want them to get this done. I want to say hurry up, but what difference does it if I say hurry up? Because North Carolina has pushed themselves out to November the 12th, the day after Veterans Day. You know why they did that, though? Because North Kakalaki does not even want to be in the middle of this. They don't want to be the ones that put Mr. Biden over. But it doesn't matter. Georgia is going to have to do a recount, and I'm okay with that because it is really too close in Georgia for there not to be a recount. I mean, they're saying it's like an 1,100 vote difference. See, this is why I told you people, this is an election where every single vote counts. So was 2016. But this time, people got out there and voted. And they voted by absentee ballot. They did the mail-ins. This man is mad because people did the same thing in this election that got him voted in the last election. So if he is saying that this election is rigged, then the whole process is rigged, then it was rigged for him too. You can't have it rigged when the Democrats win and say it wasn't rigged when it went in your favor. I'm sorry, you can't. Because as much as, many of us would like to say that, he cheated or things didn't, he legitimately won those electorals 4 years ago. And this time, he is not winning them. The states that he turned red or purple, as they say, in the last election, there appear that all of those went back blue. And as icing on the cake, Joe Biden is turning Arizona blue. It hasn't been blue in over 20 years. And if Georgia turns out to be in his favor, even if it's by 1,100 votes, it will be almost 30 years since a Democrat has won that state. This is big stuff, y'all. But here's the basic thing in this. If Joe Biden wins Pennsylvania, even if he loses all the other states, which he's not going to, that is the nail in the coffin for President Trump. He has to hold on to Pennsylvania. He has to, y'all. And he's not going to. Georgia, I know, but Georgia is. I mean, can y'all believe 1,100 votes? And I think the margin in Georgia is like 0.5%. This is about 0.5%. This is less than half. This is less than 0.5%. It's too close. So the the Secretary of State in the state of Georgia is doing the right thing by doing a recount. But he can't do the recount until they finish counting, and they're not finished counting. It's going to spend all weekend, but they got to finish the count so they can see if it's less than 1,100 votes or if it's more than 1,100 votes. Now, Pennsylvania, I think it's what, almost 30,000 votes. I mean, but right now, based on all of the votes that have been counted, over 1.4 million or 1.4, let's see, because it's at 74 million and 1.4 billion people. No, 140 million people. Over 140 million people voted in this election. Over 140 million, y'all. They're saying this is setting records. This is setting records. This is more people than voted when Obama went into office, y'all. This is more people than with Obama in his first or his second election. We haven't had an incumbent, you know, a one-term president since who was the last one-term president? Oh, Bill Clinton. Oh, wasn't that the last one that was impeached? Yeah. And he thought that the impeachment wouldn't have any effect. It had a little effect, but your handling of this COVID-19 has had the biggest effect. Mr. Trump, that is what people have the issue with. And that's where you lost people. That's where you lost folks. Oh, and you thought that if you caught it too, that people would sympathize and say, oh, he's willing to catch it with us. No. We were just wondering how long it was going to take for you to get it because you refused to social distance or wear a freaking mask. So now they have Joe Biden at 264. Wow. Yep, he just needs 6 more. Whichever state is first. Whichever state is first. And he's winning in all of them. Even the 1100 one. He's winning. So this is going to be just going to be quite interesting. And this is a very good education for our youth on the electoral process. Everyone is getting a good lesson on this. And people thought that their votes didn't count. Now you see how they really freaking do. They really did. They determine which way the electorals go. Oh, and it's already gone to court that the electorals have to vote the way that we, the people, have said. So even if they don't want to vote for Mr. Biden, they don't have a choice. Same thing that happened 4 years ago for U45. It is what it is. But he's a sore loser, y'all. He's a sore loser. And I'll be so glad when I don't have to see his tweets anymore. You know? Because see, all of us who were connected to POTUS, it automatically connected us to the next POTUS. And then when you unfollow them, Do you know that they followed you back to this man? But he gonna be gone. Kicking and screaming if he wants to. Get your butt out. And y'all heard what I said this morning. Get rid of those gold toilets. That is trashy. You know, that's what people with new money do to brag about their money. They should not have those daggone gold toilets up in the White House. That is so gaudy. Gaudy. He was trying to make it like he was an emperor or king or something. Told y'all this man was trying to be a dictator. Y'all just, I'm telling you, we still have to be in prayer about this whole situation. Because he's not that tight. He's bound to do anything. He needs to be watched for the rest of his administration. Seriously. And now the president's chief of staff has COVID-19. Y'all, he don't even protect his own daggone people. That means it's spreading around the White House. Mr. Biden's going to have the White House fumigated before he moves in, and wiped down completely, sanitized. He's going to have the entire White House sanitized. That's what I'm talking about. He knows the secrets. He has the code. And they can't change the codes until he's no longer in office. Because you know they do have to change the codes. They're going to have to change them. They change them with every president. And they can't take the codes away from him as long as he's president. You know, just hope he doesn't do anything stupid. But he's already doing stupid stuff. What am I talking about? Let's just hope he doesn't do anything crazy. Yeah. Let's hope he doesn't do anything crazy. Because he's already done stupid stuff. And he's going to continue to do stupid things until he's out of office. But I have never seen anything like this. And I'm telling y'all, it's 2020. And everything that goes along with 2020. And that this would be the year that we would have a major election. And no state was prepared for all of the mail-in ballots. No state was prepared for it. The only thing is that many states, like California, started counting them, or prior to. They were counted, they were compulated, all of that stuff. All they had to do is to push a button to get that information, and then it has to be certified. But somebody still has to go back and look at these things because y'all, most mail-in ballots are handwritten, so they don't exactly always scan through the machines clearly and cleanly. These are the things, and every state has a different, you know, system for when they can start counting the mail-in ballots and by what date they have to have all the mail-in ballots in. So I don't know. This is going to take a minute. This is going to take a minute. But it appears that it is going to go in Mr. Biden's favor. It appears that it is going to go in his favor. You know? And it's going to be a crazy transition with someone who doesn't want to leave, with someone who, in their own mind, has convinced themselves that this isn't really happening. He's convinced himself that this isn't happening. Kind of like, who I bet is laughing his butt off? Mitt Romney. Remember him? The Utah senator? Yeah. He's probably laughing his butt off right now. Because remember when he lost to Obama and couldn't believe that he lost to him? He just couldn't believe it. And so what happened? Deja vu. Now, he refuses to believe that he has lost to Mr. Biden. And I know you guys have seen the meme. There's a meme going around of 44 sitting eating popcorn or eating chips and saying, now I'm just waiting to see how they're going to blame this one on me. Because, of course, you know, 45 is going to blame it on 44 too. It must be 44's fault. It's all 44's fault. All 44's fault. So we're going to see what happens. I just, y'all, it would be nice if it could, one of the states other than Georgia could have their results over this weekend. Because we already know Georgia's a recount. We already know that one's a recount. So we need either Arizona and Nevada or just Pennsylvania. That's it. And we're good. Because Pennsylvania's 20. So that would take him to 283, without dealing with Arizona or Nevada. And he's not going to get a recount in Pennsylvania. It's not going to happen. So he hates Philly, but thank you, Philadelphia, for showing up. That's all I gotta say. Thank you, Philadelphia, for showing up. He can be mad all he wants. Oh yeah, I saw the jump shot that 44 made too. That was so smooth. Ah, but you know he's sitting back at home laughing right now. He is sitting at home laughing. Him and Michelle are laughing because you know what's going to happen. Joe is going to get in there and he's going to restore his his friend's legacy. Now he's not going to bring back Obamacare. Remember, he said he's going to bring Biden, so he's going to make some changes to make it better. But you know, and y'all know that Mr. Trump is not going to give us another stimulus. He's going to make us wait. We're going to have to wait for 46. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to have to wait for 46. So, so Joe, as soon as you get into office, you need to get another stimulus package through to help out all these Americans who will probably still be out of work in 90 days, who are going to go through a rough Thanksgiving and Christmas because of the bitter Betty that is in the White House and who is going to thumb his nose at the American people because he's mad because he did not get elected for a second term. Unfortunately, many of us were smarter than the Cubanos in Miami-Dade County. And we're smart enough to know when he was talking all this socialist BS that it was just that, BS. This is not a socialist country. And even if that was what Mr. Biden was thinking, which it is not, there's no way in hell that we would allow any president to take our country into socialism. I'm sorry, it would never happen. So that was just dumb on his part to be out there spouting all that. You know, but hell, it gave him the state of Florida. Oh well. Now y'all are going to find out that he was lying to you. Okay? He was lying to y'all. But see, because you come from a country that has that kind of corrupt government, you assume that we would allow that kind of nonsense over here. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Let's see what you guys are saying. T-Million! Hey, T-Million! I haven't seen you in so long. How are you? It's good to see you. But yeah, he's mad, mad, mad. 45 is so, so mad. But the democratic process that worked for you is also the democratic process that is working for Mr. Biden. See, I don't think 45 gets it. Mr. Biden studied what Hillary did wrong. She did not concentrate on the Midwest. She did not concentrate on Pennsylvania. those are very important states for anybody trying to be president. And please, 45, Mr. Biden is from Pennsylvania. That's why he's going to win Pennsylvania. Even though he lives in Delaware, he is from Pennsylvania. So, y'all, we don't even, it's like, we're really just waiting on Pennsylvania. We're really just waiting on those 20 just to put the nail in the coffin. Because see, we don't want it to just be exactly 270. He needs to have over 270. It needs to be a definitive win. That Mr. Trump cannot ignore or fight. Matter of fact, he needs to not get any more electorals. All the rest of the electorals to just go to Mr. Biden. Mr. Biden needs to just win the rest of them so that it's clear that he's the winner. Hey, if he can't work, if he's not winning by a popular vote landslide, please win by an electoral landslide so that it is so clear that this man is fighting a losing battle and that he will stop this desperation. It's unbecoming of a president. He needs to get with it. We got tired of you embarrassing our country. The world has been laughing at us for 4 freaking years, and we are tired of it. We don't want to be the laughing stock of the entire world anymore. We're tired of being the laughing stock. We don't want that title. We don't want to be the country with the fool for a president because he's crazy. Now, the UK will be the only ones with a crazy person. Boris, who has just shut down the UK, by the way. UK shut down on Thursday. All non-essential businesses are now closed. All those shops are closed. The bars and stuff only, I think the restaurants can only have takeout, and then the bars are closed. So yeah, and this is through December. I think December the 2nd. But they're not closing down the schools, so the kids and the universities and everything will continue to go to school. And I don't think that 46, when he gets in office, is going to come in there and try to close the whole country down. I think what he's going to try to do is figure out what we need to do to get the country back on its feet. I think that's what he's going to do. And get people working that are not working and find a way to bring back industries that have flatlined. Because to be honest with you, it should have been a national closing and reopening. It shouldn't have been state by state by state by state by state by state. That's crazy. That is what our problem was. We didn't do what other countries did. Other countries set a national standard for how things are going to be taken care of. We did not do that. We allowed every one of the 50 states to handle it how they wanted to. There should have been a national standard and then make deviations from there. That's how it should have been handled. But it wasn't, you know? It wasn't. The president just decided that the states could figure it out on their own. And so here we are today with, you know, every state doing what they wanted to do, open and shutting, not shutting. Just a big fat mess. And hundreds of thousands of people have died because of how he handled it. And that's the truth. And he doesn't see that that's what our problem is. You cannot blame China for the people dying. You never have taken any responsibility for how you handled this. I personally, I personally have lost friends and family. Personally, you know? So, yeah. And I kept saying, I would have more respect for this man if he would just take responsibility for his part. But he has never taken responsibility for his part. Everybody else is to blame. He's the good guy. He's the greatest. That's the way he has put it out there because that's his perception, and he has a warped perception of reality. Warped. Another reason why we don't need to be having any more old ass presidents. Hopefully, Mr. Biden will be the last president that we have that is over the age of 70. This is freaking ridiculous. We need to stop doing this. Stop putting these old men in the office. Why? What do we think? Old is better? No, it's not. Now, y'all might not think that Obama was the best president, but at least he was in touch because he was younger. He was young enough to still be in touch with what the people really wanted and with other people. These old men are not in touch with the stuff. Okay, yeah. So Mr. Trump has younger kids, but they don't reflect the values of the rest of the country. They reflect his values, which are warped. I mean, how many wives did he have to have all those kids? Oh, I'm sorry. One of them, he wasn't married to them. So, see, that part. So, I'm sorry. I am glad that this particular womanizer will be out of the White House. Now, I have seen the videos that some other YouTubers have been floating around, showing Mr. Biden doing things that could have been construed as being, I don't know, weird, you know. However, since you when you put together a compilation of stuff like that to give people a specific perception of someone, I question your motive. I think I would like to have seen each one of those events, what happened before and after the part that she showed us. And in one of them, it just looked like he was whispering to someone, to a kid, so that they wouldn't be nervous. But again, hey Terry, which again, I mean, yes, he's had some things come up with him. I don't know, how egregious they are, because nothing has really been proven with Mr. Biden at this particular point. And also, he has apologized if he has ever done anything to make anybody feel uncomfortable, or that other people thought might have been inappropriate on his part. So I'll give him that, you know, but you can't find any tapes of him talking about grabbing a woman's punani. You can't find any of that. Okay? I know people want to say that he's the one that's a racist and that Mr. Trump is not a racist. And I'm going to say the same thing that I said yesterday when I was up on a panel in regards to Mr. Trump. I'm not going to say that Mr. Trump is a racist. What I will say is that he has done some things that give the perception that he might be. And it could be affiliations with other people, or his not wanting to denounce white supremacy, because he needs those votes. How you feel those votes about right now, Mr. Trump? Did they help you out? Did they help you out? Oh, are they the people that you have on standby if you don't win the election, so that you can cause havoc? See, because there's some people who are under some delusion that if there is a 46, that the people that voted for him are going to celebrate and tear our own communities up in celebration. And or if it turns out that we're going to be stuck with 45, then we're going to destroy everything because we're angry. But we're going to be the ones to do it. The people that voted red are not going to do any of the destruction. This is what they believe in their heads. But trust me when I say the people I'm worried about are the people who voted red. I'm worried about some of them. I'm worried that there's some little incels around, a little militia group, ready to pop up at a moment's notice. That's what I'm worried about. And that's why I tell everybody, if you legally can, please make sure that you are exercising your Second Amendment rights. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to get crazy. I'm just saying we all need to be ready to exercise our rights. because I can assure you that any species that come around will definitely be exercising theirs. And that's what the problem is. But you know what? I know a lot of people are talking about all of the stuff that Biden did. I'm reading what you said, T Million, about the things that happened back when we had the crack epidemic, and everybody did all of that stuff. But let's talk about back then how everyone wanted to stop, and people didn't seem to care how they made it stop. And I'm talking about black people, because all of those laws that went into effect could not have gone into effect if they had not had the support of us and our representatives. I'm just saying. So, yes, those laws did go into effect. And yes, he was part of that, some of that stuff. But some of you guys are not old enough to remember what was going on at that time. But that's part of the reason why I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast and went to school out here. Because it was real bad in DC. Real bad. Yeah, that one went to the Supreme Court, Terry, but that was an entirely different situation. That was dealing with one state, and I don't, and it keeps getting thrown out. And I'm gonna tell you something. Even though those people are in there because of, some of them are in there because of Mr. Trump, this Supreme Court does not want to. They do not want to be in the middle of this. The Supreme Court should never be the ones to make a decision or to go against the American people. He has not been able to actually, he has not been able to actually show any evidence of proof of any of his claims or any of the ludicrous claims of his constituents. All of it is outlandish, and none of it has been proven. It's like they're just making up things as they go and seeing what's going to stick, trying to get it to court. So I don't think that it's going to go that way. And what appears to be happening is the more that it looks like Mr. Biden is going to have more than the 270 votes that he needs, you're seeing some of the Republican leadership try to sidestep or try to get Mr. Trump to calm down behind the scenes. But this is going to be a drawn out thing. But this man, we it's not it's not going to go the way he wants it to go. It's not. He thinks that he can stack the court, but if these justices are about right is right, if you have no proof, there's nothing for them to hear. And more than likely, they're just going to bounce it back to the lower court, which is what they already did once. They already did that before the election when he was trying to make some noise. And in that situation, the one he just put on, she recused herself. So, I think that it's going to be a little longer before we have a good idea of where the electorals are going to be. But keep in mind, people, that the electoral college doesn't actually do the official vote until December. So we're going to have to go through him stomping up and down for 2 months, for another month. Well, yeah, the rest of this month. I believe that electoral college meets on December the 14th. You know, I believe it's December the 14th. That's true. Hey, Uppity. That's true. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you. We don't know what we're getting with Joe Biden. We just know that we're not going to get what we got with Trump. We don't know what we're going to get. If anyone thinks that they're going to get Obama 2.0 via Joe Biden, you're sadly mistaken. He is a totally different person. I think that he's going to try to do what he says he's going to do, which is to try to unite and heal this country. And one of the things that he was able to do as the senator from Delaware is he was able to barter deals across the aisle between the blue and the red. So hopefully he will also be able to do that in the capacity of president. I would love to see a president that's not just thinking about one party, but is thinking about everybody. That's what I'd like to see. I mean, I'm not a Democrat and I'm definitely not a Republican, but I'm definitely not liberal. Although I wear my hair purple and I have tattoos and piercings, I'm pretty conservative. Don't let my outer appearance fool you, you know, but I don't believe in the two platform of either party. So I'm an independent voter and I vote the way I want to vote. So I mean, we none of us wanted this to be dragged out. I certainly did not. You know, we all thought that we would know at, at least by Wednesday, but this is a scrap for these votes. I think that if we were not in the middle of a pandemic and we did not have as many people mail in their ballots or walk their mail in ballots in, that it would have been a different situation. if people had just voted on election day, and that was the majority of the vote. That would have been different. But that's not what the case was. We've just never dealt with this many mail-in ballots in the history of this country for a presidential election. It's never happened. You know, even when we've been at war. Oh, we're still at war, y'all. Though we've been at war forever. We've been at war my son's entire lifetime. We've been at war forever. Cause see, we were at war before 9/11, y'all. I remember Desert Storm and all of that back in the 90s. Yeah, we've been at war for, you know, since the 90s. It's just when someone came and blew up the Twin Towers for the second time that it became apparent that we were at war. We were reminded that we were at war. They brought it to us instead of keeping it over there. I'm sure this is probably Mr. Trump's first time not getting his way. I mean, for me, you guys, I just want an honest election. So I don't have a problem with there being a recount in Georgia because it's clear that it's too close for there not to be a recall. But when we're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of votes, you're just grasping at straws. You're just grasping at straws in those cases. So, I'm not with it. I'm just not with it. What did Terry say? The problem with Trump was is that he never held political office. But it says that nothing you can do is sufficient to prepare for the. Yeah, nothing prepares you for the presidency. Even, I would say, even those who have held political offices before, nothing prepares you for being president of the United States. But the problem I had, and I'm going to say it over and over again, my issue with Mr. Trump has been the way that he handled this virus. Now, I mean, I had other issues with him, but that's a major issue to me. It's a major issue to me. And it's a huge flaw in his character. That he could not own up to mishandling of it. It's China's fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's Obama's fault. You know, a 75-year-old man who doesn't know how to take ownership for screwing something up. Because I honestly think that a lot of people would have had more respect for him for doing if he had done that. I don't think I don't know if that would have helped him, but he might not have lost as many votes as he did. Because I believe that there are people who did not vote in the last election because they ain't like Hillary, who came out and voted this time because they don't like Mr. Trump. You know, there are a lot of people that this was their first time voting, and they all were not young people. Many of them were older people. And no, they didn't just become citizens. They just had never had an interest in voting. And then he's questioning absentee. I want them to question my son's ballot. I want you to challenge a disabled person's ballot. You know, because his signature is never going to be the same. It's always different every time. And it is what it is. He doesn't write cursive. He print cursive. You know, he connects all his letters together. You know, they don't even teach kids how to write in cursive anymore in school. Isn't that crazy? They don't even know how to write in cursive. That's true, Matt. He's only made moves to benefit himself. He's a very self-centered person. You know, I mean, but the reality is that anybody who holds this particular office has to have some type of, you know, a little narcissism going on. Mr. Trump, unfortunately, has a lot going on. Chicken and waffles. What about chicken and waffles? You love the orange man? I'm sorry, T Million. I mean, you know, I know many people that do. You know, I told y'all. I keep trying to tell y'all that there are black people that like Mr. Trump and voted for Mr. Trump. You know, so all the presidents that y'all have are self-serving, especially the Clintons. Yeah, most of the presidents have been self-serving. You know, I mean, I'm even Mr. Obama. I'm sure he had his own agenda as well. I mean, hell, we've already had this conversation. All but three of the presidents are related. Apparently, Mr. Clinton is not related to any of the presidents. Neither is McKinley, or I believe the other one was Taft. But everybody else is related, including Trump. They're all related. They're all related. They're all related. Oh, and Mr. Obama is related to at least three other presidents. Okay? Not just the Bushes. He's also related to James Monroe. And I can't remember who the third one is. Oh, and by the way, all of our presidents, almost all of our presidents, just about, have roots that go back to some king in England. It's a couple of them. So yeah, maybe it is rigged. So I'm anxious to see who Joe Biden is related to. related to? He's got to be related to somebody because they're all related. Isn't that insane? Maybe that's why Hillary didn't win. Maybe that's why she didn't win. Because maybe her family's not related to any of the presidents. And we know the Bills isn't. Because you know Clinton's not his real last name, right? He took the name of his stepfather. His real last name is Blythe. So maybe that's why she didn't win. Because they're not related to any of the other presidents. It's crazy, y'all. They're all related, all related, all related. Can you guys hear me? Am I talking loud enough? Hi, Jessica. Joe Biden interview with the Breakfast Club. Oh yeah, he was trying to get that black vote. He got the black vote. He got a lot of black votes, I'll say that. He didn't get all of the black votes. He didn't get all of the black votes, but he got a lot of the black votes. You know, even though he made that crazy statement, I guess it wasn't enough to make people not vote for him because, you know, I mean, I'm sorry. I cannot vote for somebody who calls us the blacks. The blacks. And here's the thing, we're not even black. Nobody's really black. Nobody's really black and nobody's really white. Nobody's black. It's simply a European standard that has been put out there deciding to break up the human race into different ethnicities, making their own European superior, and making the rest of the world think that they are the majority when in fact they are the minority. Yet they are trying to take over the entire world. And our country is built on those same principles. Let's not get it twisted. Probably why all the presidents are related, except for three. Exactly. It's like saying those people. Exactly. It's exactly like that to me. It's insulting. I don't like it. But I have been on here, let's see, I've been on here an hour and 20 minutes, and it is almost midnight. So I am going to jump off, but I'm going to come on camera first. Let's see. Hey, everybody. Hello. I'm here. No, you know you can't come over here today. You know why? David does not have on a shirt, y'all. Y'all know what my rule is. No shirt, no camera time. You guys do not get to see his six pack. It's not happening. And y'all think I'm kidding when I say that, but I am absolutely not kidding. And yeah, he's not coming on camera. Okay, you guys, but I have enjoyed everybody being here. Thank you so much for everybody coming through. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll probably be on, I'll probably pop on sometime during the day as well. And, I'm going to do my morning pop up, depending on, what the mood is in the morning, because, I'm sure there's going to be some more news tomorrow morning. But until then, you guys, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. Oh, I forgot one thing. You guys, my computer mic and my green screen are coming in this weekend. So once I have my green screen, then I will probably come on camera more so that I can test out all those backgrounds. And I will probably use the computer more so that I can test out those at mic so I can see if we can give you some more good quality. Okay? But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Peace.